Hi everybody, this is Rob and Kurt with Two Brothers Hobby, and today we're taking a look at the new Flyzone Select Scale Cessna Corvalis. Now this is a unique model, Kurt, because you don't see any Corvalises done.
Not really, very few, and in fact this is the only foam park flyer that we've seen. It goes along the lines of that new product line we see coming out from Flyzone altogether. We did the Switch review, and we've done two of the Select Scale reviews, the Super Cub and now the Cessna Corvalis we'll be putting together and trying out. It seems like they've just upped their game, and Flyzone's been out there for a while. They've always made good product, but what we're seeing come across the bench is very well thought out, very well designed, solid construction, and it's refreshing to see another licensed Cessna product, but not be a 182, or a 182 or a 182.
And that new one that came out with the 182.
Yeah. So with the Corvalis, we see a little different airframe design. We see that more sleek European influence. This is actually a Columbia 350 originally.
This plane was originally a little prototype information. The original plane was built by Columbia Aircraft as a Columbia 350.
Correct.
And then Cessna bought the product and is manufacturing it in a town near its name.
Yep. It was Bend, Oregon, which was actually just outside of Corvallis, Oregon, which they named the plane then the Cessna Corvallis, which now they're making it in Kansas, so it doesn't really apply. But anyway, neat little history factoids on the Cessna Corvallis. Yeah. You're going to be doing the assembly in this, Rob. Outside of the cool things like the nav lights that are already wired, ready. It's our RXR version, so very little assembly. What tools are required to put this thing together?
Basically a marker, a fine tip marker, masking tape, and a number 2 Phillips
No
screwdriver.
glue, no anything.
No glue.
Okay.
No, this should be very easy.
So it's going to pop right together for us. Now, could you go over the basic components of the airframe and what all is required?
Let's take a look at it. We've got the landing lights right there on the leading edge of the wing. And then the most unique feature, I think, of the whole plane is the operating Fowler flaps. And you just don't see this type of flap being modeled very often, much less on a foam plane. We've got our wing saddle here that joins the two halves together. Simple tightening of a couple screws once they're together holds everything in place. We've got a 9x5 prop here that we'll check the balance on before we use that. Elevator and rear horizontal stabilizer, same thing, slide them together, tighten with a screw. We've got our screw bag here, our parts bag, and then we've got the front landing gear wheel, the steerable nose wheel. If we move to the fuselage here, the mentioned landing gear is already installed for you, steerable nose wheel. And then under the hood here, we've got our brushless outrunner motor already pre-mounted. And then our battery slides in underneath this Velcro and hooks up. Slides right into place and is covered by the hood there. We've got a spinner that we'll be putting on. We have a nice scale touch there. You can't really see real good, but inside you've got an interior that has got 2 seats, and we've also got a dashboard on there that's got some a little instrument panel in there. It's kind of a nice scale touch to it. If we take a look at the bottom here, we'll see that the servos are already pre-installed. We've got our ESC installed. All the control rods are pre-installed, but we'll have to tighten those down once we get our throws set. And at the rear, we've got a little scale tie-down hook there. No, Kurt, we can't pull action figures around on it. And like I said before, you just slide the tail surfaces in and mount it down, tighten it down with a screw. And then we've got our landing gear, which gets mounted onto the bottom of the wing with a couple of screws. Wheels are already installed, wheel pants are already installed. So that saves some work right there. Kurt, go ahead and tell us about the radio system.
Sure. It's we're going to be using a R617FS receiver, Futaba 2.4 gigahertz fast, 7-channel spread spectrum receiver to go along with our Futaba T8FG radio transmitter. We use this in a lot of our demo models where we're using matching Futaba radio components. This works out really well to use a computer radio. Again, this is a classic multi-model memory platform for us to use on helicopters, on airplanes, and even on a foam park flyer. You can do so much in terms of the expos and the dual rates and all of the custom configurations. With this model having flaps as well, we can do some flap mixing and drop a little bit of down elevator when we throw our flaps in or engage our flaps, which makes it a lot nicer, a lot smoother transitioning from flaps up to flap down. So another nice feature, another nice handy capability using a computer radio. we'll be using this Flyzone 1800 milliamp 11.1 volt pack. It's the one that's recommended for the plane, so we should get pretty decent run times out of that. And the convenient thing is it's the same form factor of all of our other 11.1 volt 3-cell packs, LiPos, so we can play around with a couple different milliamp capacities and see which one meets our flying style or our needs the best. It's an RXR kit. There isn't a whole lot on the radio system side, and there isn't a whole lot on the assembly side, so let's go ahead and put it together, take it out the field, and see how it performs.
All right.